Hey everyone, Tyler King, football editor with the Daily Collegian, here alongside Patrick Burns and Matt Lingerman on the field at Beaver Stadium after Penn State's 1-point loss. Second year in a row, Penn State loses by 1 point to Ohio State. And Pat, Trace McSorley was on the money, maybe his best performance ever, but in the end, it really didn't matter.
Yeah, so Ohio State, they were focusing in on Miles Sanders all day long on those RPOs. So what did Trace McSorley do? He took off and ran all day. He rushed for over 100 yards the first time in his career, ended up with 175 rushing yards for the day, and accounted for 94% of Penn State's offensive production. Yet when the game was on the line, 4th and 5, the Nittany Lions took the ball out of his hands and gave the ball to Miles Sanders on a dive play. Really just indefensible in my opinion. What did you guys see?
Yeah, Matt, the play calling was kind of an issue all night, it seemed like, from a defensive and an offensive standpoint, especially going back to that 4th down play. Penn State calls 2 timeouts to try to get the look they want, and yet they lose 2 yards on a 4th down and 5 play with 1 timeout left, just a little over a minute to go. Matt, what did you see from the play calling?
Well, first of all, I think the play calling as a whole you need to look at. Obviously, there's the 4th and 5, which is what everyone's going to remember. But at the same time, there was a 4th and 2 here where they elected to pass on. I also thought the Tommy Stevens packages were pretty much useless. They ended up losing 13 yards on 3 Tommy Stevens rushes. So although Penn State did put up 26 points and looked pretty good on offense, there's some things to pick apart there for Ricky Ronnie. Now, if you look at the defensive side of the ball, Penn State's defense was tremendous in the first half. They really should have gone into halftime pitching a shutout had not been for that Miles Sanders fumble, which put Ohio State in great field position. But then in the second half, Ohio State decided to go more east-west, move the ball laterally, get those quick skill guys in space, and Penn State was just no match for them in terms of tackling and coverage downfield. So for me, you have 3 of the 4 Ohio State touchdowns went for 24 yards or more. Penn State has to tighten up in the secondary again. Overall, good and bad from both sides of the ball, though.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us here from Beaver Stadium. Penn State heading into a bye week now after their first loss of the season. Stay tuned for all of our coverage throughout the week, and we'll get you guys ready for Michigan State coming up in 2 weeks.